So, of course, don't have sex while you're wearing a menstrual cup, especially if it's this kind of a cup.
Guys, caution.
Yeah.
Thanks.
There's
Noted.
there's the type that you can though. There's a type of menstrual cup that you can.
Unatupeleka mbio.
Lakini hii
Unatupeleka mbio. Unatupeleka. Wachia hapo kwanza.
you have to learn, like you have to keep on learning how it works for your body, you know, how to position it perfectly for your cervix.
You see what you're talking about? Positioning it properly for your cervix. Hi and welcome back to our MHH podcast. This is Hitapod and I am Obuyeah. I'm so confused. Obuyeah, Maggie, Pin Pop. Unachonekana Pin Pop.
I wonder why.
No, what do you mean you wonder why? What was your first name on Facebook?
My first name on Facebook?
Yeah.
Wow, it's embarrassing.
You see?
It's very embarrassing.
Venal, what was your first name on Facebook? No, but I'm not because I know everyone
Yours
had
is
those
cute.
This kind of names like
So-
Purple Biscuits. No? Okay, me add. That's a story for another day, but yeah, Pin Pop, so.
Yeah. Mine was Sesky Slick.
What?
Sesky Slick.
What? No, I just speak up.
Sesky Slick.
Is that like
Yeah.
sexy?
Yeah, you remember they used to do that thing? Mm-hmm. It was so cool back in the day.
Hey, I've seen enough. Hata sitaki kuvezi miwani sasa. Ati, what was that? Sesky?
Sesky Slick.
Are you still called that?
No.
You changed your name now. You're official.
Yes.
I'm so excited for this part of the podcast where we get to have guests. And today we have a guest. I don't want to introduce her. I don't want to make her feel like a pastor. Do you know how pastors feel when they're being introduced? I can't even. So I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Amelia Nyiva Mukandi, and I'm excited to be here. Should I introduce my business?
Yeah.
Well, my business is called Ant Flow Kenya. I deal in menstrual cups, and we shall learn more about all that in this session. Thank you for having me, Maggie.
Karibu. I know you're used to Moha and today is not here. I told you the other episode, men will leave you in the desert. Did he not leave me in the desert? Okay, but he left me with water, but Moha, Misawa. So today we're going to talk about menstrual cups. This is under the topic of menstrual products and the choices that menstruators have in terms of products. We have the pads, we have the menstrual cups, we have the tampons, we also have the reusable pads. So I reached out to Amelia. Guys, let me tell you, this is the second time I'm reaching out to her.
Yes.
In 2020, ulinilenga ama what happened? What happened?
We had
Tulimalizaje hiyo
We
conversation.
had a whole conversation. Tukasema tutaona how we can move forward with
And then
this,
whose fault was it? Mbona hatukuona vile tunafaa
I
kumove?
feel like it's you. I feel like it's your fault.
Nafeel
Lakini
kama ni wewe.
umejiredeem.
Yeah, nafeel kama ni wewe. Because I was looking for a collaboration. I wanted us to partner with my CBO. Because you see, at the end of it all, we are looking at sustainable methods of MHH and products. Because you see, when you're talking about the pads, the normal pads,
Yeah.
kuna environmental impacts. Kuna that aspect of using them once and not being able to use them again. But you see, when you're talking about the reusable pads and the menstrual cups, this is something that you're using all the time. Si kitu unatumia once na unatupa. So I think that time we were just trying to figure this thing out. Because 2020, honestly, we were also 1 year old. So we're still trying to figure this journey, what we want to do out there, what we want to give the kids. I think that's how I reached out to you.
Yeah.
Anyway, nimekublame sana.
Well,
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I was also just starting out. So I think we were all both very green as to like how to make this work.
Yeah.
But right now I think we're at that point where we can really like know the dynamics of both of our organizations and
Yeah.
how we can partner and make it happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's that sounds about right. Also, this is the first time I'm meeting you now
Yes.
since that 2020.
Mhm.
So I feel like social media is a really powerful space.
It is.
You could reach out to whoever just from seeing what they're doing on social media. And if it aligns with also what you're doing, I think that's really a great thing, because I should have, I mean, 2020 nafaa kuwa nimekusahau, but sijakusahau because I thought about you. And you see, I have topics written down. So for every topic, I'm like, I know someone, I know someone, I know someone. I don't have to have known you in that capacity, but at least I knew I could reach out to this person and this person, and I'm so happy to have you here. Thank you for honoring my invite. So I think we can start with what are menstrual cups? Why menstrual cups out of the other products that you have for menstruation? Why did you decide menstrual cups?
Well, menstrual cups are reusable menstrual products. They're basically made of medical grade silicone. And, well, menstrual cups last for a very long time as compared to other period products.
Yeah, I just need you to tell us how much time, like how long do they last?
Yes, one cup can last for up to 10 years.
No way.
Yes. With proper sanitation and hygiene, it can last for up to 10 years. And that's why the main value and motto for my business as Antflow is to end period poverty. That's the mission, that's the vision, that's everything.
It's always hashtag end period poverty, end period shame.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So now you see, if you can use one period product, reuse it for 10 years, that means that every month when you're having your period, you won't have to really worry about finances anymore. And I think that here, especially in Africa, it's something that can really change the game when it comes to, menstrual health awareness. So many people cannot afford menstrual products, and that was really the driving force of like me starting Antflow. So why I chose it? Well, it's a personal story, really.
No, we have time.
Okay. So this one time I was hanging out with a friend. Hey, Jesus. You know those, your uncles, sisters, brothers. Anyway, so a friend of mine who's married an American woman.
Yeah.
So we were having a conversation about periods, and I was like, I hate using pads. And she was like, who uses pads anymore? I was like, everyone, literally everyone. Like, kila mtu. Yeah.
Excuse us.
I know. So she was like, no, like we use menstrual cups in the States. Like almost everyone uses either tampons or menstrual cups.
Okay,
and that's the very first time I'd ever heard of a menstrual cup.
Yeah.
And so she explained to me what this was, and I was like, okay, I have to check this thing out.
Yeah.
What really caught me was now the reusability of it, the fact that it can last for all that time.
Yeah.
Because for me, when I cleared high school, well, okay, hey, manze tuna get personal, Lord.
No, anyway. Watch about to get personal, but
Anyway, no, it's okay. This is really like the story.
Yeah.
So when I cleared high school, my mom wasn't as financially stable.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to burden her with my problems. As teenagers, sometimes uko like sasa nitaanza kuitisha pesa ya pads na sijui nini. Yeah, so I was really like trying to hustle here and there to get money, like just for basic things. And this one time, I literally did not have money to buy pads. And that's when like it really hit me that this is something serious, because a friend of mine came through for me at that time, and she bought me pads. It's like a big deal for someone, even if no matter how tight you are, for someone to buy you pads is like major. So when I learned about menstrual cups, I was like, I'm pretty sure there's so many people, like teenagers especially, who are just like just from clearing school, whereby they're not getting shopping done for them anymore. Unajua haupatiwi pads anymore, and
just sasa umekaribishwa kwa the
kwa
real
dunia,
life, karibu
kwa real world. Exactly. And they really can't afford them. Campus students, so many people can't afford these things. And then let's not even talk about the marginalized groups, you know, people who really can't even afford basic needs. And I was like, if they can't afford these basic needs, how are they going to afford pads every month? So that's what drove me into now starting to import the menstrual cups and selling them at really the most affordable market price.
Okay, so now that you're here in the menstrual cup world, how is it, how different is it from the other products? How different is it from the kawaida pads and tampons? Since you started, I'm assuming you've been using them.
I have.
Yes. So is it now any different? Is it better? Is it comfortable? Like, what is the experience with the menstrual cups?
Okay. For menstrual cups, the word really for it is a learning curve. Okay. The phrase for it. Because it's not just like, well, if you're lucky, the first time you try it on, it's just gonna be perfect for you. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Perfect in terms of like you won't struggle with things like how to put it in, how to remove it, you know, how to really handle it. But it's a bit more sophisticated and delicate, like as compared to a pad which you just stick on a panty and that's it. I've had experience with tampons, and honestly they're just not for me, because I feel like, you see, okay, so we were talking about this earlier, that risk for it just falling out, that's my thing.
And I don't trust you. What do you mean? It's almost easiest. It's tiny. Can you please?
But when it's full, it's slippery. Let's be honest.
Okay. I think we all want to see menstrual cups at this point because.
Okay, cool. So I have a couple here. So my cups come in 2 sizes. This is the large one, and this is the small one. You can just open it up.
Can I open it?
Yeah. However.
Ven, have you seen this thing before?
This is
first
Greek.
Time. Oh my God.
So there you have it.
So this is the smallest.
This is the small cup.
Yeah.
And that's the large one. So the small cup is recommended for women and girls who are below 30 years old and who haven't had given birth yet. But if you have given birth and you're below 30 years old, the large cup is recommended. Now, the large cup is recommended for women and girls who are, for women really, who are above 30 years and above and who have given birth.
Okay.
Because when you give birth, your cervix expands.
It expands.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is a menstrual cup. Now you see the differences. You can feel even from the texture.
Yeah.
It's not slippery. It's not like something that is just gonna slide out. Like you were saying, it won't just slide out. Yeah. So let's assume this is your vagina. Yeah. So there's different types of folds. How you put it in. You can fold it like that. This is a C fold. Yeah. Or my favorite fold is the press down fold. So you just hold it here and then you press it down like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's easier to enter like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what happens once it gets in?
So what happens when it enters like that, it'll just pop open like that inside. And then now there's a suction. Okay? These are the walls of your vagina.
Petition to defund menstrual cups and
no, petition refused, not granted at all, denied. Listen, now this attaches to the walls of your vagina.
Okay.
So there's no way it can come out. Absolutely, like it's below your cervix. It's just below your cervix, and it collects the blood now as it drips. So it collects, and then when you want to remove it, you just press down here. The reason why you're pressing is so that it can release that suction.
Okay.
Yeah. Because when you open it, it will just like do that pop sound inside, and then it suctions itself to the walls of your uterus. So when you press it, it releases, and then now you can remove it. You can just pull it out like that.
Are there cases where this thing can get lost inside?
Very hard, very difficult, because it sticks to the wall, as I said. So maybe if you go ahead and push it, and push it inside. So of course, don't have sex while you're wearing a menstrual cup, especially if it's this kind of a cup.
Guys, caution.
Yeah, there's the type that you can though. There's a type of menstrual cup that you can.
Unatupeleka mbio.
Lakini hii
unatupeleka mbio. Unatupeleka wachia hapo kwanza. Hey, haya. Let me just ask. So how long should I have it inside?
So it can last for up to 12 hours.
What do you mean 12 hours? Kitu ndogo.
No, it's big enough, trust me. In fact, when you remove it, it's never full. Haitawahi fika hapa. You know, you overestimate how much your period blood is because you see it on a pad or on a tampon. It's actually not that much. In the cycle, let's say you change your pad after every 8 hours. You know, within 8 hours, your cup will not be full. It'll have thickened somewhere like here. So during your lightest days, you can have it in all day. Yeah, literally. But on your heavier days, 12 hours or 8 hours, or like if your flow now is really, really heavy, or maybe the first or second day, 3 hours, 4 hours, you just switch it up. Yeah. Okay.
Man, this thing sounds so unreal. It sounds so, I mean, just look at this. Itamwagika.
Wacha tuweke maji tu.
I'm so confused. Okay.
Haiwezi mwagika, I promise you. Okay, let's do a test drive.
Yeah.
Okay. There.
So that's roughly the whole day.
This is too much. Tuanze tu hapo, because it would never fika there. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say that.
Man, I don't know. I just don't know.
So it's inside like that. When you press it, that's how it'll come out.
But I'm assuming you have to be as gentle as you can so as to avoid spills, because these unajua tampon unavuta tu. Tampon unatoanga tu, as in just,
I mean, yes,
be as ghetto as it could be.
And that's why I'm saying like it's a learning curve. You have to learn it for yourself.
Yeah.
Because mwingine labda amesha njia ya kuitoa tu you know, like really fast, and it won't spill. But now when you're starting off, of course, like you have to be very gentle in putting it in and you know, taking it out, because also you can hurt yourself. You can hurt yourself even with a tampon, because it's something that you're inserting into your body. So you have to be very careful.
So can I do sports with this? Can I swim with this?
Yeah, absolutely. You can swim with it.
Amelia,
you can sleep with it.
I'm finding it really hard to trust you. Lakini it's sawa tu. Unaniconvince
sana.
I don't
get it. Out, I promise you. Because of the suction. It suctions to the walls of your vagina. It cannot come out.
Okay.
It can't. Like, the worst, maybe, it would be more feasible, or like it would make more sense for you to be scared of it going inside than coming out. Nje haitatoka. Inside now, of course, like it can go inside if you push
so you also didn't tell us, do we lubricate it ama it just tuna vibe tu hadi ingie? Tunaduaje?
Okay, yeah, you can lubricate it with water before you insert it. But then again, now you see when you're on your period, there's blood there. So, and blood is more like slippery. Yeah. So it just slides right in. Yeah, because of the blood.
I'm just going to need anyone who's used these menstrual cups to give us a feedback. Just comment on our page on our YouTube. Just let me know. Let me understand why on earth you're using this thing. And
they're amazing. Can I give you a fun fact? Menstrual cups were actually developed and manufactured before pads. They came before pads were developed.
That is
like a fact. Yeah. It's because it makes a lot of sense. Think about it. You can swim. You can just walk around. You don't have to think about your pad showing where leaking.
Man, just don't worry about me. My problem is familiarity. I'm just used to something familiar. And now when you give me something new, especially something like this.
I totally get it.
Okay, so what was your experience trying to get other people to use this, and what was their feedback? Did they just kubali quick fast. The other people who are like, I'm so sure I'm not the only one.
Of course you're not.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, so it's always like a lot of questions,
Yeah.
obviously, and I do answer where I can, but I also recommend for like just personal research because the information is out there. Well, from my clients, I can tell you, I've only had one person go like, it's not for me. Yeah. But that was literally a family member who was like, unajua kwa sababu pia family pia wanaweza kuwa very skeptical, zile za wewe hizi ni nini unauza hapa, you know. Yeah, but my clients, like people who've actually like gone and are serious about learning, they do learn, and it's all been positive feedback. And that's what really keeps me going, because I'm like, this is a good product. It works for several different people, and I believe that it can be very revolutionary.
I'm starting to trust you.
It's incredible. You should
50-50.
try it.
But don't convince vizuri. But okay, so when we go to schools with the CBO that I'm in, we take pads, definitely, but also we don't only just give out the product, we also take them through the education. So we carry the tampons, the pads, the reusable pads, and the menstrual cup. So most of the times we get to show them that they have a choice. Because growing up, we've just been introduced to pads and the disposable ones, and that's what we know are the options for like we don't we are not told there are other options. So I also learned about all these things after school, and actually when I got into the CBO is when I was introduced to the menstrual cup, and best believe sikutaka kuisikia mara mbili. I was just like, oh, cool story. So
me.
So you see, in school, when we are now teaching them about the menstrual products, we get questions. I feel like girls right now are they're so bright. They just know so much that Mimi in that age, like I didn't know these questions. I didn't know what to ask. I didn't know about this product. So apparently others would be like, now what happens to the hymen? Does it go up until that point? Does it affect the hymen? I don't have that answer. I've not used it. So that's your question now. Does it affect the hymen?
Does it affect the hymen? Yes. Anything you put inside will affect the hymen. But we also need to remember, like, when it comes to virginity, being a virgin is not about breaking your hymen. It's about not had sex at all. Because even when you do like gymnastics or if you ride a bike, it's a real thing, by the way. Your hymen is gonna... Imagine it's a real thing. Even when I found out, I was like, kumbe hawa watu walikuwa wanajua kitu wanatuambia hapa.
I'm so sad.
Yeah, it's real.
I'm so sad. I thought it was a myth. I thought it was just one of those things you were propagating.
It's absolutely not a myth. Your hymen is gonna rupture a bit, at least when you're doing like sport activities and riding a bike, doing gymnastics and all that. So yes, when you use a tampon, a menstrual cup, it will break the hymen or tamper with it, at least stretch it a bit. But as I said, let's remember that all these myths about once your hymen is broken, you're no longer a virgin. I mean, they're not real. You have your virginity is intact until you have sex.
Yeah, but now for those who are worried, and also for parents who would never let their children use things that would tamper with the hymen. At what age do you now
recommend?
Propose,
Yes, I would definitely propose at 18 because now you're officially an adult, you're a citizen, you can make your own choices. So also the hygiene factor also, I feel like once you get to like at least when you're 18, that's when you're really deemed as an adult, Now you can really start to understand your body in terms of how to to the best hygiene practices for your body, because something like a menstrual cup, it requires a very high level of hygiene, to also avoid stuff like TSS, toxic shock syndrome.
I'll come to that later. Unani Kimbiza, Amelia. I like this segment because it has a lot. I feel like I have a lot of questions to ask you, and you're answering them before I even ask you. So now you mentioned hygiene. Can you tell us how to clean this? How do you clean it?
So basically, you handle it the way you'd handle a baby's what is it called, like food items. You boil them, basically. So before and after
plastic
easy plastic,
okay,
silicone.
No.
Medical grade silicone is immune to high temperatures, so it doesn't affect it at all. So basically, before and after every period, you just boil it in hot water. That is after the whole cycle. But during your cycle, like when you're changing it, you just rinse it out with clean water, of course. So you see, water is very like important.
So you see, this is another challenge because it would be hard for us to take these things to the marginalized communities, especially where there's no access to water. Rather, if you're taking this, you must come up with a plan of how they're going to access water. I feel like it needs a lot of water. I compare it to the reusable pads also. I also feel like those two products need lots of water.
Definitely. And that's the scale up for Antflow, to really be able not only to supply the menstrual cups to marginalized areas, but also supply them now with the resource water. To be able to just, access to water is a basic need that everyone needs to have. So if we can do both, kill two birds with one stone, that would be amazing.
So have you, as Antflow, have you shared your insights with a larger group of people? Have you gone to schools? Have you gone to communities? Have you done the outreach? Really?
Well, not yet, because right now I've just been running the show on my own. And what I've been really setting my eyes on is to get funding, so that I can be able now to do all this, to do advertisements, campaigns, especially in universities. But I have gotten some feedback, like some positive feedback. Like I was chosen as Antflow was chosen as one of the participants in the Tony Elumelu Foundation funding. So I didn't get to the funding stage, but I did get in, and that's progress.
That's a step.
Because it goes to show that it is scalable. Like I can scale it, I can scale it up, and it's an idea that works for Africa, especially.
So now that you're talking about funding, how has it been looking for funding?
Oh, it's crazy.
And congratulations on running the show alone.
Thank you.
Other people run the show, like 5 of them, and it's still crazy. So that's a really good step you're taking. So challenge when looking for funding, how's it been?
Well, you see, a lot of organizations that provide funding, mostly for sustainable products, is when they're starting from scratch. Like if you're manufacturing the product, or you're solving a problem directly. Like maybe you collect plastic waste and then you recycle it into I don't know what, blah blah blah. Exactly. But now for me, it's like I import the products. So when that's been like a challenge for me, because when I compete against companies that do the manufacturing, this mic load. Mimi tunapa na hii mic tuna fight yani. Anyway, so like for the companies that do the manufacturing themselves and do the recycling, they're a bit like
ahead.
Exactly. They're preferred. But at the end of the day, I feel like the scalability for this business is really high. Because at the end of the day, if I import them from China, and that's where India also has manufacturing plants for menstrual cups. And if we can set up an actual manufacturing plant here, that would be amazing as well. Yeah, but in the meantime, as long as it is not contributing to environmental pollution, it's also
you see, I like you. You're just answering my questions without me asking you. You've answered TSS. You've answered the environmental impact. Unatakaje tumalize, guys. Bye. Yeah, because I feel like we are done with this thing. So I was also getting to the environmental impact side. Do you feel like this solves a lot as compared to when we are disposing of the pads, the tampons? Does this is it sustainable even for the environment itself?
Yes, definitely, because the only thing that you're disposing while using a menstrual cup is your menstrual blood, which is natural. It doesn't cause any negative environmental effects as compared to pads, which are plastic, literally. You know, so like you really reduce your carbon footprint by a really huge amount by using a menstrual cup. If you can use it for 10 years, let's say even if you use one for 5 years, compared to someone who's using sanitary pads every month, definitely, like it's a huge difference. And that's also a major reason why I got into this, because not just easy. We are all trying to save the environment.
We are all going green.
We are going green. Global warming is hitting us left, right, and center. You have to really try your best to live, a lower carbon footprint. So menstrual cups I recommend them if you're environmentally cautious. If you're cautious about, conserving the environment. And
I feel like there's no winning with the pads, because in terms of disposal, I was reading somewhere that if you still burn them, it still, I don't know, does what to the environment. If you're still just disposing them, it still does something to the environment.
The manufacturing process also, everything.
There's no winning. And this is quite the catch. This is quite the catch. So now let's go back to TSS, toxic shock syndrome. What are the risks of a menstrual cup causing TSS? Toxic shock syndrome?
Well, just like a tampon, because tampons have the highest risk of TSS.
That's true.
And that's because of the environment that they create. Like, especially now, if it's high absorbent, that means like it's a lot of blood there, and the environment like can cause the bacteria to grow. So for menstrual cups, the risk is lower as compared to tampons, but the risk is still there. It's still real, because now this also interjoins with the hygiene practices that we were talking about, because now what causes the bacteria to form is uchafu, so basically, like, you have to be very, very clean. You have to be very careful when you're using them in terms of now the hygiene factor. So if you follow the steps recommended, boiling them before and after, rinsing them with water after every use, and storing them well. So this is something that I provide as Antflow also. This is a little dust bag that comes with the product with every purchase, so that when you're storing, it won't mix up with anything else. So you can have just make sure when you store them really well. And if you maintain good hygiene, you will not experience TSS at all. But if you expose them to, like, if you use dirty hands when removing, like, you have to wash your hands before handling that area in general.
So do you know, I've read about TSS. I've even had it on my stories. I run a segment called Menses Thursdays, where I get to just talk about everything menses, mostly the learnings, and just telling people, this happens, when this happens, when you do this, this happens, when you don't do this, this happens, when you use this happens. So I had Irene a story about toxic. Oh my God. Oh my God. Tumalize. Tufanye? Twende. Syndrome. Nisha, guys.
Why?
You guys will
We're
drag
just
me
gonna
for that.
act like, it's normal.
You're the only one who's going to. You're the
but
only one who's going to act like I know people. I know people are going to.
But
drag
like
me. I know
it's
people are going to
normal.
drag-
English ilikuja na me.
Okay.
We know this.
So I ran a story on toxic shock syndrome. And that was just entirely about tampons, because that's what I got at that time.
Yeah.
So there's a model somewhere, Ukomayolo. She got amputated. Both her legs were amputated because of TSS that was caused by a tampon. So you see, the other thing about tampons is the toxic, the TSS comes when not only because of the bacteria, but also on the placement. Because it was saying if you don't place it well, TSS can come about. If you have it in for too long, TSS can come about. If you sleep with it, TSS can come about. So this brings me to the question, can we sleep with this?
You can sleep with it. Absolutely. The only thing that can cause TSS for this is poor hygiene.
Guys,
it's the only thing. You can sleep with a menstrual cup, wake up with it. In fact, on days when you're towards the end of your period, the way you're just like dripping 2-3 drops, you can have it in for however long, really, and you'll be fine. Yeah. As long as when you're handling it, inserting and removing, make sure your hands are clean, make sure your cup is clean, so that you don't risk any bacteria getting in there.
Okay, I feel like you've answered all my questions. You really have answered all my questions, and this was very, very insightful. And maybe
my question to you,
okay,
are you sold? Are you gonna try one?
I am.
You will? I would like you
maybe
to, for 2.
Sure. Yeah. Maybe you just why do you want me to try one?
Try 3, like 2 or 3. Even 5.
So also I feel like you haven't told us about how many do I need for one cycle.
Oh, it's one for 10 years. Like if that's your menstrual cup, that's your menstrual cup.
No, yeah, but you see, I have to change. So how many at least should I have for one cycle?
The same one. So when you change, you remove it, you pour out the blood, you rinse it, and then you reinsert it.
I get it. Oh my God, this is such a game changer.
I know.
Okay, niko sold like 70%.
Sawa, hiyo 30 ya mwisho utakuwa sold next.
But no, nime move up from 50. Yeah, actually from 0, then I was at 50, and then now I'm at 70. I guess by the time you're going, I'll have gotten to 72. Is 72 good?
Tough crowd.
Oh my God, guys, this is such a game changer, and there's so much to learn. I hope you have learned something and you're not as rigid as I am.
Keep the questions coming. In fact, if you have anything, any questions can come, and I'll be open to answering them, because we're also learning together, really. Yeah. But I would highly recommend, not just because I'm selling, it's because this is a game changer for sure. Wherever you're gonna purchase from, get yourself a menstrual cup.
So roughly, how much does it go for?
Well, I sell mine at 1,000 baht.
Okay. I mean, that is so affordable. For 10 years, that is so affordable.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I feel like this is the most shortest episode you've had. Literally, Ven hasn't had to tell me time up. Yeah. It was very I've learned a lot. Yeah. It was very insightful. And I appreciate that you honored my invite to be on set. Thank you so much. And guys, just give us your comments, give us your experiences with the menstrual cups. And if you haven't tried them, this is Aunt Flo. Are you going to tell us what your handle is on Instagram?
On Instagram at Aunt Flo Kenya. You can also reach me on 0749894149. Yes, that's
Facebook. Says keyword.
Facebook. No, please. Okay, you're embarrassing me. So Facebook, it's also Aunt Flo Kenya. Yes, but my personal handle is Amelia Niva, Amelia_Niva. I will also answer any questions that you have. And also, like, if you want to purchase, you can reach out through my personal account as well.
Thank you so much. Let's meet in our next episode. Please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Kwaheri.